one, as per usual, is telling me in the corner that I'm going live, and then the other picture is telling me that I am live. So I'm going to assume that I'm actually live. Hello, you're all very welcome to Wednesday's live call inside the Facebook group Map Your Future ABA, the place where we go from A to B, and then we decide we're going to go for a bigger and brighter A. Now, later today, this call will also be on my YouTube channel at Anthony Beale 2024. And if you're watching on YouTube, do hit the subscribe button so you never miss a thing. Anyway, you're all very welcome to today's call. Today, I'm going to give you the bullet version of the Tip the Scale live event, the highlights that I did last week. And the replays of that event are still available for the rest of this week, and they're in the featured section in the Facebook group, Map Your Future ABA, as I want everybody to see this life-changing information and see it a few times before it's gone. So without further ado, let me just dive right in. So on day one of Tip the Scale Live Masterclass, I shared the ABCs of money, working out how much is enough, and the ABCs of goals, getting clear on what you want. And I gave exercises from the workbook to help you get clear on how much do you need to earn to have the life that you want to live now, but also the life that you want to live in the future for your later years. I shared strategies for earning money, and I also gave exercises on how to be clear about what you really want in your life. Deciding on what you want is a very, very important step to take in your own growth and development. When you don't know what you want, you are directionless. You're kind of like a ship without a rudder. And ships without rudders, they usually get lost at sea or they crash on the rocks because they can't direct themselves to their next port of call. And without choosing your own direction in life, you're passing through life, not really getting anywhere, not making any real progress, and in the main, just going around in circles and circles, kind of like the hamster on the wheel. And the people that this happens to usually become, well, they become very frustrated with life, and they can be exhausted, feeling at the end of their days activities kind of sick and tired, but not knowing why they're feeling tired. Uh, put some time into you. Decide on what do you really want. What do you want to be, do, and have in your life? This is so, so important. Without deciding what you want, you can never get it. It's not possible to get it until you're clear about what you want. And remember, life is not a dress rehearsal. We're only here for the once, so far as we know. Decide that you're going to gain more balance in all areas of your life. A person is living a balanced life when they are spending their days doing what they love, and at the same time, they earn the amount of money they need to provide the things that they want to live the way that they choose. That's the best definition I've ever come across of a balanced life. And I came across that from Earl Nightingale, the legendary presenter back in the day. Now, a person is living a balanced life when they are spending their days doing what they love to do. How many people are doing what they love to do? And at the same time, they earn the amount of money they need to provide the things that they want. How many people earn the money to provide all the things that they want, to live the way they choose to live? How many are living the way they choose to live? That was all in day one. So if that's resonating with you, I would encourage you to go back and watch the replay for day one. Now, on day two, I shared my good friend here, the stick person concept. Okay. And I went into depth of how your mind actually works. Okay. And you see, unless we have an image to work with for the mind, there's going to be a lot of confusion around it. Most people, when they think of the mind, they either draw a blank or they get an image of the brain. Now, the brain is not the mind, the brain activates brain cells. The brain is the electronic switching station that controls our nervous system, but it's not the mind. Um, the brain, sorry. Now, the stick person here is not the mind. Okay. No one has ever seen the mind and nobody ever will. But we need something to remove the confusion around the mind. We need something to work with. So you let the large circle here represent the mind, and the small circle here represent the body. And these antennae here, these are our senses. We can see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. Okay. Now, the mind separates into the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. The conscious mind is our thinking mind, it's our educated mind. And our subconscious mind is our emotional mind, it's our feeling mind. So the thoughts that we think in the conscious mind lead to the feelings in the subconscious. Those two combined compel this thing called a body to move into action. The body does exactly what the mind tells it to do. It all starts with the thoughts that you think in your conscious mind. So the thoughts create the feelings move us to act. That is what your attitude is. Okay? Your attitude is the composite of your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. It's not just your thoughts, it's not just your feelings, and it's not just your actions. It's the composite of all three. So the thoughts lead to our feelings, and which leads to our actions, and the actions lead to reactions. Those reactions create the circumstances, the conditions, and the environments that you experience in your life, also known as your results. Your own attitude has a huge influence on what happens in your life. Also, on day two, I shared how we are controlled so much by the outside world, by outside forces, especially when we are unaware, we leave ourselves wide open. But we are mainly controlled by our conditioning, the paradigm. The paradigm is a mental program or programs that is stored in the subconscious mind. It's where all our habits, beliefs, and behaviors are. The self image is there. It is responsible for our habitual behavior, and nearly all behavior is habitual. Research shows that 95 to 97% of our behavior is controlled by the paradigm in the subconscious mind. And without changing that, nothing can change. And I shared how to make changes to the paradigm on day two by changing habits. You and I are creatures of habit. People form habits and habits form futures. The habits you have right now are leading you somewhere. There's no denying that. Think on that. Where are your habits leading you right now? Is it someplace that you want to get to? There was a time in my life where my habits were leading me, well, they were leading me to an early grave. That was until I became aware of what direction I was headed in. And I took back control and I started to change them bit by bit by bit. I shared an exercise, a process on how to become aware of the habits and the beliefs that are no longer serving you, and then how to replace them. You can change any negative habit you want. You can replace a negative habit with a positive one. Doing that, you get the double impact, or what I call the double whammy. And this is where you stop doing something that is bad for you or harming you or not working for you, and you replace it with something that will benefit you, that is helpful and will work for you. This is how I stopped smoking. And that was all in day two. On day three, then we got more into the paradigm, and the biggest part of the paradigm, the conditioning, in my opinion, is the self image. The paradigm is a thought program or programs that's stored in the subconscious mind. It's our conditioning. It's a collection of all our habits, beliefs, and behaviors, and nearly all our behavior is habitual. And I am repeating myself on purpose. I'm doing it for your benefit. To really learn, repetition will be required. Repeat the same idea over and over again. Emotionalize the idea. Step out and act on the idea. Observe a different result. That is what real learning is. That's not what we're taught in school though, which is that if you can remember and repeat information, you have learned. And you've not learned though. That's not real learning. All you've done is you've gathered information. Now it's beneficial information because it helps us to create and do other different things. But this explains why people can read books, go on courses, do trainings, and see an uplift in their life for a short while and then revert back to past behaviors as nothing has really changed. This continues until we really learn. And what real learning is when you experience a different result, a different outcome. It's when you entertain an idea, you emotionalize the idea, you step out and act on the idea, and you observe a change in the results. That's what real learning is. I shared some big ideas on day three of how to reprogram your self image. You see, you can't outperform your self image, but you can reprogram it. The choose six things you like about yourself exercise. This helps you to identify your strengths. No matter who you are and where you are right now, you do have strengths and you do have things to like about yourself. You might not see them as strengths, as they're usually things that come natural and very easy to you. And then you assume that everybody has these strengths when in fact they don't. Then there are the qualities you like about others' exercise. You can't notice qualities in others if you don't have them yourself. This helps you to identify things that you have that may need to be developed and that you can build into your self image to improve your level of performance. Then I shared your life as a movie script technique. This is a technique where you work out how your self image is currently programmed because you are programmed whether you're aware of it or not. Um, Now, you use that same process then to work out how you want to be your best version of you. It's the same process. Process one is to uncover how you're currently programmed, and then process two is how you decide you want to program yourself. Remember, you're not responsible for the programming, your paradigm, but you are responsible for changing it. You are not responsible for the cards that you were dealt, but you are responsible for how you're going to play them. So there were a number of ways to upgrade and reprogram the self image, the paradigm. Remember, you cannot outperform your self image, but you can reprogram it. But only you can do that work. You can be guided, you can be helped, but that work is an inside job and nobody can do it for you. Now, I can help you with it, but I can't do it for you. Now, on day four, we got into what stops people in their tracks when they go to really grow and go after something that they really want, to go after the life they want. So, you have this idea, this wonderful goal, something you really want, something that's really important to you, and you think about it, you dwell on it, and then you consider acting on it. The second you consider doing something that is considered outside your comfort zone, bang, fear kicks in and you feel anxiety and you feel horrible. And then you don't do it. You don't take action. You stop right in your tracks. Why? Very few people understand what's happening here. They don't realize that when you have a goal, an idea, and you entertain that idea, you repeatedly think about it, and you emotionalize that idea, it will move you into what we call a foreign vibration. It's an honest, it's an unpleasant feeling, and to be honest, sometimes it can feel horrible. This is what my mentor Bob called the terror barrier. So when you get emotionally involved in this new idea, the goal, something you care about, and that you really want to move, you move into a chaotic vibration. Okay, and then instantly worry and doubt registers on the conscious mind. It's fear in the in the subconscious mind, and then we feel anxiety in the body. Okay, all hell is breaking loose in the person that experiences this. They go to step out and go ahead, and they hit the terror barrier and they bounce right off it. Now, this happens with almost everybody. A person goes to buy their first house, terror barrier hits, they go home, they're scared. They got the money, they want to buy the house, but they're scared. Person goes to quit a job and start a business, they're scared. That's what they want to do, but they're scared. Anytime you go after something that is considered skipping a few rungs on the success ladder, you will come up against a terror barrier. Anytime you go to step outside your comfort zone, you're going to hit the terror barrier. When this happens, you have a choice. You can step back into safety and to continue to experience the same results that you have been getting year after year, or you can be courageous and experience the growth that you have been seeking. Courage is not the absence of fear, courage is acting in spite of fear. Fear and growth go hand in hand. It's to understand what the fear is so you can bust on through it. And then on day four, I also shared the single move that can change everything. That is really learning to make decisions. This is not something that we're taught in school, and decision making is usually overlooked completely, but it's so important to the success of your life. Making committed decisions on how you want to live your life is vitally important. You see, when you finally make up your mind, things start to fall into place. You start getting all the ideas, the resources, the actions to take. That is what a committed decision is and what it does. It is making up your mind. Now, you can do that instantly. So often, though, we put things off, and that's where more problems seem to end up on our own doors. I also share the Thinking into Results program, and that's how I work with my clients. And then on day five, I had two really great speakers on that are students of of the Thinking into Results program, and they were dropping nuggets of gold and wisdom left, right, and center. They shared how they applied the materials and what they learned. The fastest way I have found to learn things is to learn from others and their experiences. You will never have enough time to learn everything in your own lifetime. It makes a hell of a lot of sense to learn from others. I would encourage you to listen to what Alan Lawler and Nobby Nealon had to say on day five. Then on day six, I did a bonus live Q&A session where I answered the questions people had been asking me. The answers to those questions have the power to speed you up on your own journey. Now, the replays for the Tip to Scale Live Masterclass are available and they will be for the rest of this week. I would really encourage you to see them while they are available and see them a few times. You can't see this information too much. And they're in the featured section in the Facebook group here, Map Your Future ABA. Now, remember, a person is living a balanced life when they are spending their days doing what they love to do. It's wonderful when you do what you love to do. I love what I do. And at the same time, they earn the amount of money they need to provide the things they want to live the way they choose. That is something I believe everybody can aspire to. That's it for today, folks. Next week, I'm going to be live again on Wednesday. But in the meantime, I would really encourage you do watch the replays of Tip the Scale while they are available as many times as you can. And if you have any questions about today's call or any of the content that I share in Map Your Future or indeed on YouTube, you can email me at abeale, that's ABEALE, at Anthony Beale, ANTHONYBEALE .ie. In hindsight, I probably should have set up a smaller, shorter email. Or if you want to know more about how you can work with me, you can book in for a discovery call. I'll pop a link for the discovery call in the comment sections below. The discovery call is all about you discussing what you're currently doing, what your goals are, the improvements you want to make, and what needs to change to make that happen. Have a great week, everybody, and I'll see you all back here at 1 o'clock inside Map Your Future next week on Wednesday. God bless you all. Bye bye.